sunumuyla başlıyor.
Good night, and thank you very much for having me. It's a real honor and a pleasure to be here again. I'm very sorry for my Turkish. I've managed to make a presentation, hopefully well. I asked my colleagues to check in Turkish, but I will have to make my presentation in English. So I'm going to talk about our strategic vision for this year, and as Tumpa is a member of EMPA, what we are. So by starting, because some of you may not totally know us, we are an European association that was founded in 1963. We gather nowadays 4,500 members. This includes countries from all over Europe, include not only countries from the European Union, but also Norway, Ukraine, Turkey, and the United Kingdom. We are a non-profit organization, and we see ourselves as the vital link on defending the interests of maritime pilots in Europe. Our core mission, as you can imagine, it's, this is the EMPA family. So guys from Finland, Elke and Eileen are from Belgium, and they are the only people that have a contract with EMPA. All of us, we work for pro bono. Salvatore from Italy, Stefan from France, Olivier from Belgium is the journal editor and is going to quit now. Gerhard from Germany, and Jose from Spain, and Peter in the video from the UK. So as you can see, it's a wide representation, and you may remember Ismail Pignar. He was also a vice president from EMPA some years ago when I started attending these meetings. Our core mission is to gather technical proficiency and operational safety, elevating the navigation efficiency, and protecting the environment against all kinds of marine pollutants. Pilotage is an essential activity for the unique service for the naval industry. And we defend this as this can be made only without competition and also without economic pressure. This is the only way where we can provide our service correctly. In Europe, and this maybe it's not as big interest for you as, but it's a little bit of what we see ourselves, but you will try to understand what we do here. It's what we need to do all over the world. We need to try and talk with all the associations, all the stakeholders, with the European Parliament, with the governments. And we need to show what is our activity. People don't really know what's the job of the pilot. So this is something that we need to work a lot more by providing contact with the stakeholders. Not only when we are in a difficult situation, but showing ourselves all the time with them, show the added value of having a pilot on board. So this year, what we are going to work mainly, we have found three core situations that we believe are affecting pilotage in Europe, and I will have some words regarding Turkey. So we are looking about safety. I'm talking about ecology, technology, and geopolitics. Safety, I see that there's a colleague that is going to talk about pilot ladders, and we are going to talk here about EMPA Safe, that probably you didn't heard about it, but I invite all of my Turkish colleagues to join. It's a reporting system that I will going to explain more in details. Ecology, it's normal, everybody needs. There is this tendency on decarbonization in shipping. In Europe, it's very, very strong, but it's something that it's going to affect everybody through IMO legislation. And it's here that we collaborate also with the stakeholders, with European Stakeholders Association, with Green Port Alliances, that it's a project funded by EU, that the head, it's a Turkish university, vieira, that it's leading this project, and EMPA it's also involved. And also digital data, which is something that it's coming more and more. And this brings effects on cybersecurity. And here, it's very important that we need to think that pilots will only be needed, okay? We work together with technology, we don't work against, but we also have a role of identifying risks. Because sometimes for academia or technology providers, solution providers, it's very easy for them to talk about solutions, but when you start asking about what are the challenges, sometimes people start saying, here you're coming against. No, we are just here to highlight what's the role of each one. Then, of course, geopolitics, which I don't think it's something that's going to affect you here a lot, but in our side, especially in the Baltic area, it's something that it's taking us a lot of concerns, namely when you talk about spoofing and jamming, which we are having a lot in the Baltic Sea and also already in Germany or in the Netherlands. So the EMPA Safe application, which it's free, you just need it to download from Google and or from Apple Store. What you need to do is just ask Tumpa, and they will provide you the login, and we provide that you join the system. Basically, what I'm telling is a colleague in the port of Sinj, if a vessel is coming with Istanbul, and if I've detected a deficiency, and I ask the captain to correct it, or if it's a very thing that we need to address more carefully, I will communicate to the port state control. And when the vessel arrives to your port, you will get a notification that this vessel had an issue in my port. Like that, what we are doing is we are providing information for the next colleague to provide that is going to be safe. This is an open system. You don't need to have an application. This is something that it was built in two ways: to integrate countries that already had applications, like Germany or the Netherlands, and countries that didn't have any application, like, for instance, Portugal, Ireland, or Spain. When we come back to technology, we are talking about digital twins, artificial intelligence, metadata, just-in-time information. And for all this information, and you will see I've mentioned a little bit about how it's important to explain our activity to all parts. You will see now we are relying more and more on artificial intelligence, which is good, and we need to use it, but we need to be careful. And at all the time we need in local human professional judgment. And that's the role of the pilot by being on board. Of course, we use these equipments, we use technology like we use PPUs, and this is a decision support. It's not going to entirely replace us. We need to be there to assess the different points of it. When we talk about the sustainability, we see different ways of doing it. So joint efficiency, so it's when we work with our colleagues. How can, especially with the tugboats, how can we make our maneuvers more efficiently, never jeopardizing safety? I started working 27 years ago in my port. At the time, for a vessel of 150,000 deadweight, we had 2 tugs of 35 tons pushing in the end. Nowadays, we have 2 tugs 75 tons. Do we really need to have the 2 tugs at full power all the time? Most probably not, because if we did it before with 35, no need to spend all this fuel. Also, the green infrastructure. So, you know, more and more electrical vehicles, looking for new design on pilot boats, looking for more ecological pilot stations that are self-powered and with sustainable power. And also the ecosystem protection. So we are with the strategic alignment and participating with Green Port Alliances, which for the ones that are coming tomorrow, you will have a presentation on this, and EMPA is very committed with this project, and many thanks to my colleague Patrick Galvin that it's leading this project. And what we are trying to do is just change a little bit our attitude regarding the environment. And it's something that it's easy to be made, and this project is going to bring some interesting conclusions. The geopolitical impact for us at the European Union level, it's coming from a global tension. Nowadays, nobody is safe in this world, so things that were guaranteed before are not guaranteed anymore. And the presence of a pilot on board, it's also very important, as this can immediately identify some risks or even interference. So we can see the future of the global logistics chain related with digital intelligence and integration, the human element, and more it has been more and more difficult to attract more people to the sea careers, and we need people from sea careers in the ports. So this is a change that we need to do, and also for sure on sustainable regulation and security. So what we are doing, we are uniting the efficiency with the human safeguard, and we can see that we are a central factor of resilience in the fluidity of our ports. Another thing that we are very keen, and people say, you're traveling all over. Well, I think we need to be present where all our colleagues are present. We have general meetings, and in these general meetings, usually 1 or 2 pilots from each country show up. And I have this joke of organizing the football tournament, which gathers about 200 pilots around Europe. I always have this joke, we should make the general meetings there, because we meet more pilots there. So my idea to come to all this with great pleasure to all the places where it invented, it's like I can see myself, I can talk to all the colleagues, and we can head to try to understand or to show to my colleagues all over Europe what's the added value of EMPA, and to tell you that we are available at 24/7. So as soon as you're suspicious that you may have some concerns, please contact us immediately so that we can assist you at all time. Now, a couple of words for the situation in Turkey, which my colleagues recently drew my attention. So I called it the paradox, the pilotage paradox, which is the revenue versus the safety imperative. So when I looked at the open auction model, the Ports Law 618, I found it very remarkable that there was no cap. So everybody could bid, and I heard today a gentleman talking that there are people bidding for more than 90%, which puzzles me a little bit. Where is the sustainability going? Can you run a company on this level? We don't think so, and we are open to discuss this with the government. And we see another thing here that it's very important, which is a priority on the commercial side, on the financial side, versus what should be our job, which is safety and efficiency. And I don't think that we don't think in EMPA with this model that this should be something that will assist the pilotage service. We can see a lack of an increase of this investment, mainly on continuous training, on operational stability, and most probably on the quality of the pilots that we are contracting, opposite to the high standard level that we have nowadays. And also this is going, if you have too much commercial pressure, this is going to cause an erosion of the pilot independence, because we are going to be more concerned on getting the small amount of money that looking on the broader angle of the safety, which could be the most important. And we see here a gold precedent, which is the direct strait control of the Istanbul and Çanakkale Straits. We see if these areas are so important, why are not all the areas in Turkey important? Because traffic is going everywhere, not only on these specific straits. So we would like to have a system without commercial pressure, non-competition, like we have in these areas, expanded to all Turkey. And I'm almost finishing. There are 4 pillars of resilience pilotage system. Institutional independence. So we need, the structures must be strictly impartial. Critical maritime safety decisions require total isolation from competitive interference, from financial stress, and ensuring that we are never subordinated to profit. And also, it's a protected public service pilotage, so it must be treated as regulated and non-competitive public service. The primary and uncompromising objective is the prevention of accidents and the protection of the maritime environment, and not the generation of revenue. And nowadays, we believe that the model that it's coming, it's more on the revenue than anything else. And again, coming back, the operational sustainability, which unsustainable concession fees place the entire system in a financial rupture. The structural focus must return to long-term quality and continuous safety, rejecting immediate financial gains and the weaken of the factor. Experience and knowledge, where human capital is the ultimate bastion of safety, and this can only be done through the pilot associations, maintaining rigorous standings in the transmission of complex local knowledge, in the promotion of a just safety culture and training. Finally, EMPA's strength lies in our union, and our expertise and our proactive commitment to the challenge today and tomorrow. The onboard pilots remain absolutely essential for safe, efficient and stable maritime navigation, with a very strong organization like we have been. If you look at the left, it's very funny, the image, because you also need to tell AI what's the job of the pilot. So it's not only to politicians, it's to everybody. Thank you very much. Teşekkür.